but we are not genius. We're not geniuses like Steve Jobs. We are ordinary marketing people. How do we make things that can be said to be innovative? Because not everybody can be Steve Jobs.
Yeah, right.
So well, how do we try in our own way to become more innovative?
You know, one way is, we always say, think out of the box. Mm-hmm. And I wrote a book called Lateral Marketing, which gave so many examples of being innovative without being Steve Jobs. For example, take the company that makes breakfast cereal, Kellogg. And they could make one cereal after another. They could say, well, let's make something called Wheaties. Let's make Cheerios. By just having more raisins, more round things, all that. But they began to think out of the box. Namely, what else can we do with cereal? Mm-hmm. Well, the first step was they said, why don't we make a candy bar that is a health bar, not just straight chocolate, but it has cereal surrounded by some chocolate. Then they got a new idea later on, and that is when people sell yogurt, maybe they want something to put into their yogurt because the yogurt is just plain, mm-hmm. and couldn't they put some cereal on top of the container when you open it up, and then you can mix the cereal? So it's the search for other ways to use what you're good at making. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. If you're going to want to be, if you're not Steve Jobs, make sure you ask people around you, your employees, your customers, your suppliers, your distributors, help us continually improve ourselves. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the country where this idea of continuous self-improvement is most pronounced is, can you guess what country? Where in the factory, everyone is trying to improve all the time.
Japan?
Japan. Japan taught us this thing of improving yourself every day in every way and everything you do. It's kind of an ethic, mm-hmm. Of continuous, you know, they have a thing called the 5 whys. When something goes wrong in the production process, they say, why? Well, they found out the worker was drunk. Yes. Well, why was he drunk? Well, because he's bored with his work. Yeah. Why does work have to be boring? Well, you know, but it's 5 whys. Yeah. They get deeply into the root cause, mm-hmm. and so on. So I don't know if that's good that a person is so dissatisfied with themselves that they always want to be better. Mm-hmm. But self-improvement is a cultural value in some countries. For example, yes. In the United States, we're very much on a self-improvement basis. And if you go into the bookstore, you'll see a whole shelf of books on how to be better at anything you're doing. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe in many countries, people are satisfied with who they are and what they are, and so there are cultural differences which lead some countries to be more inventive than other countries. Mm-hmm. But within any population, in Thailand, you will have some people who are inventing themselves all the time, improving themselves all the time. Mm-hmm. It's not that the whole country has to be that way, mm-hmm. but that's one of the things.
But in Thailand, we would not ask why. We would ask who did it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a more political way of behaving.